So in this session, we will be learning about the numerical tools in Power Query. Okay, so for the first question remains, where do we locate or where do we find those tools? So just click on the transform ribbon, and within here you can see this section. Okay, this sorry, this section right from statistics, standard, scientific, trigonometry, rounding of information. This number column section belongs to the numeric tools within Power Query. Now you can see these options within the transform ribbon. At the same time, if you click on this add column button, add column ribbon, and then here also you will see the exact same tools, and that again may confuse you, okay, why do we have the same things over and over again. But just like I said in the case of text tools, if we want to create a new column, a brand new column, okay, then we would be using these tools. And if we want to make the modifications in the existing column, then we will use these tools. So I hope you know this is like a very basic difference, but always keep this in mind. Now the question is, how do we use this numeric tools? So let's just say I've clicked on the first column, this name column, and if I try to use these tools, what I will do, I'll click on the statistics option here. Now if you see these all these options are currently grayed out, sum, minimum, we are not able to see any of the values enabled, but count of values and count of distinct value, these two are enabled. Why is that happening? For a very simple reason, because this is a text data. If I select the numeric data, then you will see that all these columns are somehow uh, enabled. I'll click on statistics, and now still it is not enabled. Do you know why? Because if you see, the data type, the column is not whole number, it has still got string in it. So what I will do, I'll change the data type. So what I will do, change type whole number. Now let us see what happens. As I've corrected the data type, okay, there are some data issues as well, so let's get the data issues also fixed quickly. I'll click this, okay, column distribution. What are the issues exactly? Okay, so we are seeing some errors. I think we'll just remove those errors, some of the blank values or the invalid values. Duplicate values are also, we will remove them as well. Okay, now I think we have fixed these issues. Now let's go back to the transform tab, and now if we try to go to the same option, statistics, now we can see that after fixing the data type problem, uh, these options are enabled now. Earlier those were not enabled for this column. Okay, if you see this column, this has got text, so for this one it is disabled, but this column has got numeric values. That is why for this column, sum, minimum, maximum, all these values are enabled now. Now what does exactly these values do? If you click on the sum, it will give you the sum. Let's say I want to find the average, though these are incomes, right? I want to know what is the average income. So what will happen once I click on this, it will give me the average income for, with reference to the entire column. So it is 676,153, right? I'll go back. Okay, now this way we know like how to use uh, the this way. Now we know how to use the sum. So in the same way we can find the maximum, minimum values, median, average. So we'll just see who has got the maximum salary. So I'll just click on the maximum button, and it should give me the highest income. Okay, and that is 1,20,000. So 1,20,000 is the highest value. So this way, it just gives us one row that will tell us the one value. Okay, now let us try few more things. Okay, we just explored this statistics uh, option. Similarly, we can use the standard option and the others also. So what we will do, uh, as of now we are using transform tab. Now we will be using add column option, and let's say I want to find the income of the employees after the TDS being deducted. Okay, so let's say that 10% TDS is being is being paid, and I want to apply the TDS values and then I want to create a new column that will give us the income after TDS being what do we say, after TDS being applied. Okay, so what I will do, first of all, let me just do one thing. I'll just quickly remove the null and zeros. Okay, because obviously those are not the correct data. Now what I will do, I have selected this one. I'll go to add column, go to standard and click on multiply. Why I am selecting multiply? Because 10% TDS, let's say, applied. So suppose somebody is having a salary of 100 rupees and after applying the TDS 10%, how much is the salary remain? 90%. So that means we just need to multiply by 0.9. If we multiply by 0.9, that will give us the outcome. So I am just multiplying by 0.9 and then click OK. As I click OK, it should create a new column. Okay, as you can see, for 90,000 it is now showing 72,000. So 8,000 is reduced. Why? Because it is 90% of 80,000. So like that we have got the incomes for all the rows. Okay, that's why I said when you use add column option, it will create a brand new column, but the name looks pretty bad, so I'll just correct it, that income after TDS. Okay, and I'll just save this. So just like I used this option, just 1 minute. So just like I used this under this standard tab, I use this multiply option. Similarly, you guys can use the other mathematical operations as well. Okay, now let's say I want to do the rounding off, that also can be done. So let's say if there are any values in decimals, so rounding up can be done using this option. See, it seems like very small things, but when the data analysts work on a huge project which has got huge data sets, that time these tools are very handy. Okay, so just keep this in mind. Now speaking of this, one more option, information. What does it tell us? Is even. So what I will do, I will click on is even option. So it will tell me whether for every single row whether the value is odd or even. So we know that all these are even values. Okay, these are salaries. So I'll just click on is even option and let's see what happens. It should give me a new column and it is giving me true for all the values which has got even values. If let's say we are putting any value which has got odd number, it will give us false. So that's how it works. Okay, I hope you understood. This is not something that is very difficult to understand. All right, let's try one more thing. Let's say I'm in the transform ribbon and I want to know the count of distinct values, how many different names are there. So I'll just click on this count distinct values option and we'll see how many different names are there. So there are 12 different names as per this data. Okay, and all right, so I think this is pretty much clear now how to use these columns. Okay, so so what all options we have seen? We have seen statistics option, which is using which we understood that it will give us just one value. Okay, it will not reflect for every single row. Okay, and if you see the statistics option, when I select and if I click on the add column, and now if I click on statistics, it is disabled because it cannot provide the same value for every single row, right? Because when we get the sum, that is just one value, right? That is why it is disabled. Okay, so if we're talking about other options, I think we have seen the standard operations, rounding off we have seen information. On the base, whenever you require any trigonometric values outcomes, you can use this function, and whenever you want to find the square roots, logarithm, factorial values, you can use these tabs as well. Okay, so I hope this has helped you to give some idea as to when and how should we use the numeric tools in Power Query. Okay, thank you so much for watching.